Hello there, my friend. Hey, this is Fred DeFalco. Listen, I'm not sure. As soon as you see these religious symbols, you see church, you may say, wait a minute, I'm going to get away from here. Listen, if you're an entrepreneur or a business person of any type or you desire to be, you're going to want to hear my story. You're going to hear about, hey, what is this all about? Why Jews, Christians, Muslims, and society? It is all about entrepreneurs and business people because we need a place to come to as a collective because we have such a high calling that we don't even understand it. Look, life can only be understood backwards. It's got to be lived forward. Now that I'm 72 and looking back on my entrepreneurial experiences, my business experiences, and my enterprises, I see what happened. And that's how I developed Twisdomology. Time and wisdom working together, truth and wisdom working together. If you look here, God's timing and wisdom for your business, life, and legacy. And if you're not of influence, hey, I'm not religious at all, it's still for you. Just go ahead and let me tell you my story and why this channel exists. I did this because I want someone to have a place to come, especially people of faith, because a lot of times we're more in conflict from this systemic mistaken identity than those that are agnostic. I know 72 years I've worked with thousands and thousands of people in my organizations. I'm here to help people eliminate confusion, consternation, conniving, and carelessness in their life derived from our programmed belief systems, whether they're religious, secular, the way you're brought up, psychological, political, and traditional alike. And that's why the 920society.org was started. I want it to be true stewardship, peace and prosperity for all, starting with inner peace. Money and material success is simple, but this is a call to something greater. It's a call to every Christian, Jew, Muslim, and all entrepreneurs and business people of the world. The reason I do Christian, Jew, Muslim, Christian is my story. And then I belong to Jews and Muslims World Peace that I got criticized by my Christian friends for ever being involved in. So it's a big story here. So let me go ahead and just tell it to you. Hopefully, don't click off. It's not religious. This is all about entrepreneurship and business and how we're called to definitely heal and save the world. And it's not a call to abandon any tradition you have. I love my Christian traditions, even though I've changed quite a bit from what I used to do, but to awaken its deepest meaning and that's missed by 98% of the followers. And folks, when I've studied every one of the books, I was a self-taught theologian. It's amazing each of our different faiths, how many times that there's so many of the followers that miss how deep it really can go. And whether you practice Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, or none at all, this is not about conversion. It's about creation, true stewardship. That's what I want to create, true peace and true prosperity for all starting with an understanding. It's all about elevation, understanding your intrinsic divine purpose woven into your DNA and path, which is your soul intelligence. It's like your thumbprint. It's just like your physical thumbprint and your DNA. Your soul has the same thing. And this drive that you have as an entrepreneur, this drive that you have as a business, the reason you failed so many times is to the systemic, mistaken identity. So I want to lift it up. I want to lift you up to your fullest expression in your faith, your life, your family, and your world. Elevate your faith or no faith. I love elevating people that have no faith as far as their love that they have for life. That is part of their faith, their mindset or belief systems, whatever they are. I want to help you remove every roadblock as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, and I want you to fulfill your divine birthright. And what is that birthright? I want you to find that 920 hidden code that keeps calling you. It was placed there. Listen to this, 2091 BC. You say, what is that about? Well, you may be real familiar. That's what every Christian, every Jew, every Muslim traces back to, of this covenant and this promise that was given to two people And it was a promise of peace and goodwill for all. That's where it started. It was to two people named Abraham and Sarah. And Abraham and Sarah, what a bunch of characters. They're just like you and me. They felt that there was some calling. They felt that there was something that's supposed to happen. But what did they do? They got confused. They then became consternated, the fear and I got to get this done. I got to make it happen. Then they started conniving. Sarah actually said to her husband, sleep with my maid. We're supposed to have a baby. I know, I sense it, I feel it, I can hear the call. And this is what we do as entrepreneurs. This is what we do as business owners. And we get driven by our ego versus our soul. Yet God delivered and prevailed over their foolishness, just like he does ours. Yes, you are the will of God. Your business is the will of God. Your decisions are all your bad ones. I'm going to show you why you can't make mistakes for your sake and humanity's sake. So the guarantee of his will on earth as it is in heaven would take place eventually. And look what's happened since then. As entrepreneurs, we always succeed outwardly, but too often we arrive empty inwardly. And when we don't know where we are going and why, we end up there. I don't want that to happen to you. Our egos hijacked our God given aspirations and inspirations to build something of value, motivated by love and wanting to lead and live a life bigger than ourselves. That's all of our sense as entrepreneurs and business people. But our religion gets in our way and of true and total daily redemption of self, others, and the world. Right away, we'll resort to prayer. Well, prayer is great. I do it very often, many times a day. But what we don't understand is that systemic mistaken identity of what's really going on. This is about a holy and holy redemption of our souls. What is our soul? It's our mind, our will, and our emotions, plus a healthy body that carry us through this life back to love. That's what we want. Well, what went wrong? Here's what's went wrong. It's we've been programmed to believe that religious belief systems, mine, Christianity, and tradition are exclusive and they equal intrinsic truth or value. That our outer achievement is the same as fulfillment, that failure, success, or mistakes define us. Here's the truth. You can't make any mistakes when you know who you are. You may say, oh, wait a minute, I've made plenty of mistakes. I could give you a whole, I'm an expert at them. That's why I do what I do, because I don't want you to have to go through them. I've already done it for you. But you really can't, because when you really get an understanding with a Socratic mindset, is that they make you if you extract the wisdom from them. So then you get to the point where you're going, okay, I get it. And then you stop having all the consternation that's going on in your life as an entrepreneur and business person, that you start letting it become more fulfilled. That Socratic mindset, Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. It's so true. Now, this is my confessions of a Christian and his wake up call. Do you know that Christianity holds 55% of the world's wealth? And that same system that claims to follow Christ, I follow Christ, holds most of the world's money. Yet personal peace, power, equity, and soul prosperity remain elusive among us. Now, when I'm going to talk here, it's going to sound like criticism. It's not criticism. I'm trying to elevate us Christians, elevate our understanding of who we really are. And this is my story, what I had to come and realize. And that more than any other spiritual tribe, we have some of the most difficult times. We have churches on every corner in America and even more theological opinions than actual believers. We are louder in debate than we are in divine love. I'm talking about myself first. We'll take a bullet for our doctrine. I would have at one point, but not take a breath to understand our neighbor with different values. My story. We'll go to war for our beliefs, but won't walk across the street for someone with different ones. We'll die for our positions, but never kneel for reconciliation. We'll take a bullet for our dogma, which I would have, but ignore the bullet our words just fired into someone else's soul. I almost am getting choked up reading these, knowing that I spent 35 years of my life not understanding myself and my soul call, my soul intelligence. We brand spirituality as cardinality and humanism as heresy, while ignoring God in one another. My story. We excel at labeling. I had the best label machine that you could find, judging and excluding, but stumble at being childlike, which Christ said was the only way to possess the kingdom of God. My story. I wasn't thrown out of church after 35 years for heresy. I was thrown out for asking real questions and transformations and fulfillment that started with me reading one book from the 1800s. Has Christ already kept his promise? Is the kingdom not here within us, among us, and between us? I dare to say, and this is when I started really latching on and understanding what this covenant was all about. I dared to say the 2091 BC covenant was fulfilled, that love already reigns, that God is in all, and the words of Jeremiah the prophet were not someday, but this day. No man shall teach his neighbor, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least to the greatest. Again, now this is my story. You may not, that may not resonate with you yet, but stick to it. I want to show you how this translates into our calling as entrepreneurs and business people, and how I'm going to help you give you a place to come of a collective, a soul collective, that we can help one another as entrepreneurs and business people. The insanity of mistaken identity. I should say, Fred, I cling to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, our exclusive club, or who's right, who's wrong, who's in, who's out, who's up, who's down. I could go on and on with that. Again, my story, instead of the tree of life where the fruit is. Oh, I could quote these. Oh, I knew them backwards and forwards. I taught them to my kids, but yet it didn't show itself the way that we know what these words mean: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Self-control. Wow. The money flows in, the churches grow tall, but what are we? I remember the monies I was given to my churches, and we've become clanging cymbal. No, I should say me. I became nothing more than a clanging cymbal, empty noise without love. People used to hear me debate, and they would go, "Wow, oh wow," and I could convince anyone. I was a self-taught theologian, even though I only went to the 8th grade formal education. I had the debating skills that rivals politicians, and salesmanship sharper than CEOs. Yet our wisdom is not from above. And the reason I'm using ours, because there's too much of it in Christianity, and we control 55% of the world's wealth. We're the largest systems of faith, right next to the Muslims, and yet James 3:16 and 17, it just lays it out for us, but we ignore it. And it's so many times when people would tell me that was all about love, Fred, I go, well, wait a minute. No, we got this too, got this too. It's time for a new Reformation, Christians, not one of theology, but of identity, a return to our own entrepreneurs. I'm only talking to. That's all I know. Entrepreneurs and small business people. That's all I've been doing since I was 18 years old. To return to soul intelligence, to twisdom, truth and wisdom, time and wisdom, and not our selected truth, but from all the books. Read the Quran, read the history of the Quran, read how that they interacted, the Jews and the Christians, and how we got to be wiser. We got to use James 3:16 and 17 the way it was intended to guide us to what real true wisdom is. It's all love. It boils down to love. This is a book called the Gospel of Thomas. It never made it into the formal scriptures because of some religious council said, "Oh, nope, it's not going to work." But yet, listen to this. If you Christians, listen to this. If you bring forth what is within you, what you bring forth will save you. If you do not bring forth what is within you, what you do not bring forth will destroy you. He was talking about the kingdom of God, because that was the subject matter in the Gospel of Thomas. So what people are suffering from is not tapping that love, not tapping what's going on, being told there's something wrong with them, being told that they're cursed, being told that the original sins still exist. So we really have to step it up. We got to use our thinking, our experiences, the wisdom of all the books. And the business at hand, is the business of our world. It's time for entrepreneurs and leaders from every faith, every nation, every walk of life to rise with clarity, courage, and collaboration, because it won't be governments or religious institutions that heal the world. If that was the case in America, we'd be a we'd have no problems in our streets and having people that are still in poverty in our own cities. There's a church on every corner. If Jesus is the answer, what happened? It's we think there's something wrong. The greatest thing that's wrong with us as small business people and as entrepreneurs, we keep allowing us to be convinced that there's something wrong. The only thing that's wrong is telling people there's something wrong instead of saying, let me show you what's right. Because us entrepreneurs and business people, we're the one that take our money and spend it and donate it and help other people, because that's our heart. That's our calling, because it won't be governments or religious institutions. It will be us, the builders, the visionaries, the ones willing to trade ego for empathy and fear for fruit-bearing faith. It's time to build, heal, and save the world together through business, through love, through twisdom, time and wisdom, truth and wisdom. 10 beliefs to revisit, to find the true love and power, to save ourselves in the world. 1, true love for who you are, who everyone else is in your life. Yes, even that family member you're mad at and won't talk to. What do you do each day and why? These are the 10 beliefs most ready for transformation. This is my story. This is what I had to do. I had to change the belief about what you're really here for, the belief about yourself and your life circumstances. Each circumstance every day. I've got some circumstances going on now. I don't like them. When I talk about wisdom, time and wisdom, truth and wisdom, is that you may not like the music, but it was given to you to practice your dance steps. This is what I'm saying about mistakes. They're not there to break you, they're there to make you. The belief about yourself and your life circumstances, the belief about what your time is truly for, the belief about what your personal story really means. When you go to 2035worldpeace.org and you see my Twisdom clock, look at it, understand it, look at all the numbers on it. I did that when I was a 23-year-old salesperson teaching other salespeople time management. I had no clue. And yet, here it is now today. It's crazy. I want to help you. Life can be understood backwards. It can only be lived forward. The belief about what your personal story really means. And now, the belief about your past and what you thought were mistakes. The belief about your future and the world's future. A lot of people say, well, Fred, look at the problems that we have. Oh my gosh, 70% of all males used to die in war or conflict back in the 1200s and 1300s. The belief about your future and the world's future, the belief about your belief systems themselves. Now, again, I don't want anyone to abandon tradition, but I want them to have the Socrates mindset. The unexamined life is not worth living. I have been called a heretic. I've been thrown out of a place I've served for 35 years. I have been, ridiculed, called names, people not talk to me anymore, and all this other stuff. But all because there were belief systems that I just had an elevation, an elevation, the belief about what leadership is or isn't, the belief about love and the unloving, the belief in pain, tears, and sin. This needs to be transformed. It needs to be transformed. And as entrepreneurs, we don't just need something to believe in. We need love for who we are, for what we're called to do, for the freedom to create and lead from the heart. We must follow the voice of our soul intelligence, not just belief, but the calling from within. And if you have been doing anything entrepreneurial or business, there's a calling going on in you, and you got to get it straight. And I want you to take this song. I want you to find it. Jason Gray, no matter what faith you are, get Jason Gray's song, More Than Something to Believe In. It's got to be more like falling in love than something to believe in, more like losing my heart than giving my allegiance, caught up, called out, come take a look at me now. It's like I'm falling. Oh, it's like I'm falling in love, because all religion ever made of me was just a sinner with a stone tied to my feet. It never set me free. What is Twisdomology? It's the timeless equation. Truth and wisdom plus time equals transcendence. It's time to transcend theology and psychology. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing at all. God says in the Psalms, or King David said, what is man that you are mindful of him? You've made him just a little lower than the angels. So my angel, my friend, my beautiful soul, go ahead and transcend. It's awakens soul intelligent. It restores peace, prosperity, and divine purpose. There's nothing to learn, only to unlearn. And that's the illusions that we have. See with soul vision, walk in peace, not pressure. And leadership isn't about being followed, it's about being free. Because when you're free, then your people are free. The people that are working for you are free. You are already a leader. The only question is, are you leading yourself first? And anytime there's issues in business, the leader is not leading. And they're thinking they're making mistakes, and they think there's something wrong, and they think there's and they don't have clarity. This channel's for you if you're tired of religion and life without sanity and daily redemption. And when I say this, you're not tired of you're going to give up your traditions if that's what you love, but you're going to give up life without sanity and daily redemption, that we run around like chickens with our heads chopped off. We want divine wisdom from above for business, life, and legacy. James 3:16-17. There's two types of wisdom. Always test those two types of wisdom. Print it out. James 3:16-17. No matter what your faith is, it's just very pragmatic. Print them out and just say, am I experiencing that one, consternation, or is it that one? I'm experiencing clarity. And when there's no clarity, you're not living with wisdom from above. That's in here. Your soul intelligence, it's already innate. You're ready to build a world that reflects heaven, not ego. You're open to truly understanding Abraham's covenant for all mankind. What you'll gain: clarity about who you are, healing from mistaken identity, soul strategies to align success with spirit, not just business strategies. I want to teach you soul strategies, the realization that you don't need to become successful. You came from success and you will return to success. We need to claim our birthright. Live the four quarters of life with purpose. I love these. I call myself a four-quarter coach. And that because I'm back here now, I see them, I understand them. Life can be understood backwards, but it's got to be lived forward. I want to help you live forward no matter where you are in here. And I'm calling all my friends 61 to 80. Please connect with me. And it's Twisdomology is a bridge between all four of those. The shift starts with one decision: not your strategy, not your schedule, not your team, only your mind. Ready to take the first step? I'm looking for 300 people. There's an old story. It's a great story in the Old Testament of the scriptures, as a guy named Gideon. Read it. He had 300 people. He had 32, started 32. God cut him down to 300. He said, you know why? Because if you succeed with those 32,000, you're going to take the credit, but I'm going to cut it back that where only I could do it for you. It's amazing. The same way with the Abrahamic covenant, but yet we fight against the gifts of God. We fight against the aspirations that are within us, and we're confused and we're in conflict as entrepreneurs and business people. I'm looking for 300 entrepreneurial leaders who are soulful, driven by intrinsic desire for love, who are committed to something greater than themselves, changing the world and the world. You can be an entrepreneur business leader with no affiliation to any religion. You can be agnostic or atheist as long as you are driven by love. I'm looking for 300 entrepreneurial leaders driven by love. All love is God's love, no matter how we frame it. It is where we came from, where we will return, regardless of belief systems. A universal theology is impossible, so says the Course in Miracles, but a universal love is inevitable. And God's going to get it one way or the other. It was promised in 2091 BC, and he's getting it either way. So I want you to become a part of it. Let's talk. Are you ready to help lead the dying to society to fulfill? I'm looking for 9.2 million members practicing. Go to 2035worldpeace.org. 2035worldpeace.org, because I'm going to live the rest of my life. I don't want another bomb in the sky. I don't want another explosion somewhere. I don't want people killing other people based upon what they think or say or do or believe. Not through titles, not through hustle, but through peace, clarity, and truth. If you're one of them, let's connect. This is not a church for followers. This is a home for the free. I want you to take a challenge. If you're a business owner, a leader, I'm a certified coach with the Og Mandino Leadership Institute. And I do a free metacognition assessment from that institute. It's like an MRI of your mind. It's based on 6 quadrillion calculations. It's based on a book that Og Mandino wrote, the greatest salesman in the world. He had 10 secret scrolls in there. They extracted all the habits out of there. in every habit, every area of your life, and how the intrinsic, the systemic, and all these other types of habits that we develop in our life that where you know how they sabotage us. Our own habits of thought sabotage us. So take that. It's free. You're going to get a portal. You'll have your own portal to go in and look at them. Look at the habits thoughts in your portal, but you also could hit the print button and get your 44 pages. But if you think you're one of these leaders, I want you on my website, defalco.com. I want you to say, hey, I want to talk to you about one of these leadership positions because I'm looking for a board of directors of 300 people. And I want to talk to you about that. And then I'm going to do a video analysis of your habits of thought because when I talk to you, I want to get to know you. I need 300 board members. I've got two. Um, so, and then I'm asking you, I have business and I fund everything, and the funds, I spend them all, everything I make to try to do this. And if you could buy me a cup of coffee, just keep to encourage me to keep this going, because one cup of coffee by times 9.2 million, we can literally change the world. Listen, we have the influence. If we had 9.2 million people practicing daily the practice at 2035 world peace, just look at it at 2035worldpeace.org. If we had 9,200,000 people practicing that, we would have the power and the influence soulfully to influence somebody like President Putin to stop all of what he's doing. Folks, world peace is in our hands as entrepreneurs and business people. I believe it. I feel it. It's there. So thank you for listening. I hope I see you take this, and I hope that you're one of those 300. It's time. It's really time. This channel was a business mastermind, that it was a real estate mastermind. I'm doing the same thing in transforming my industry, which I spent 50 years in as a real estate industry. And I started the 920 Collective with 300 owners, future owners, over the next 5 years to take it all over, because it's my succession plan to be able to hit that goal in 2035 world peace. So thank you for being here. Comment, uh, get in touch. Let's connect. And I mean it. I will help you any which way. I've got some things going on in Pakistan. I helped someone, what they were doing, South Africa, Germany, Australia, people that have reached out through the 920 Society, and it was people that didn't have funds, right? And what we've been able to accomplish is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Thank you for being here. Bye bye.